My baby, listen intently. Due to the fact a divine shift has simply passed off inside the non-secular world, and that is going to have an effect on your existence in the next 15 minutes. This is a time that I made possible to our available your existence, and I'm able to display to you what will happen next. For I, the Lord your God, have bent low to talk into your spirit at the moment. I have stirred the heavens. I've summoned the wind to hold my phrase directly into the chambers of your coronary heart. I've seen you, my beloved one. I have watched the quiet groans of your soul that nobody else heard, the tears you shed in places no eyes beheld. The thoughts you dared not utter for fear they would be misunderstood. Nothing in you is hidden from me. And that I inform you currently with certainty trade isn't coming. It has already begun. I did no longer shape you for normal days. I did no longer breathe my breath into you for a life of me life. I crafted you with purpose sealed into the very fibers of your being. Your steps aren't random, some time is not wasted, and your delays aren't denials. The whole thing, and I say everything, has been ordered to align for this second. Even the ache, the confusion, the silence, it has no longer been in vain. It's been the soil wherein I've planted seeds unseen, and now they burst forth because of the divine shift I have commanded. Do not confuse the stillness with absence. I have usually been close to. And whilst you concept I was far, I was surrounding you, insulating you from destruction, wearing you through the locations you thought would swallow you complete. Otherwise you survived due to the fact I held you. You persisted because I decreed your endurance. And now I communicate existence over you with new authority. Inside the next 15 minutes of your earthly time, a veil could be lifted. The stupid haze that clouded your imaginative and prescient will evaporate. Your religious senses will be sharpened. You'll start to understand things that were hidden from your information before. I am setting a divine lens over your inner eyes so that you may additionally see what is certainly happening around you, not just inside the natural realm, but within the supernatural. This isn't imagination. This is revelation. I'm bringing clarity to confusion, strength to weariness, and route to in which you once wandered. The doorways which have been shut no longer by me but by the schemes of the enemy are now being opened through my hand. And those that I've kept closed to shield you'll stay closed, for I guard what I love. There is an area I'm taking you, a place no longer constructed with human palms, a realm of have an impact, on of purpose, of spiritual achievement. You may step into arenas that your call alone couldn't open, however my call, spoken over you, has now made available. The want you're approximately to enjoy isn't man-made. It is divine. It's far the fruit of covenant, now not convenience. You have not earned it, but you have been chosen for it. I am about to multiply what has been stagnant. I am approximately to resurrect what you referred to as useless. I'm about to answer prayers you forgot you prayed, due to the fact you assumed the delay intended denial. but I'm the God who lives out of doors of time and fulfills my phrase in its season, and your season is now. Do not be alarmed if people start to fall away. No longer every person can observe you in which I am taking you. Now not every voice should echo inside the next chapter 1M writing for you. I can do away with what must be eliminated, not to leave you empty, however to make area for the divine appointments I've organized. You will no longer chase anymore. You will be found. You will now not plead. You may walk inside the authority I have given you. And those who have to discover you may discover you because I myself will lead them. This subsequent hour of your existence may be marked via uncommon alignment. The locations where things by no means seemed to click before were sources misconnection, in which people had been out of vicinity, wherein timing by no means matched reason. Those places will now experience divine cohesion. I'm knitting collectively info you never noticed, arranging occasions in methods that most effective I'm able to, orchestrating symphonies out of seasons that once sounded like noise. I'm reintroducing you to the arena, to yourself, and even to the destiny you forgot you carried. There's an energy in your voice which you have silenced. There is an anointing in your palms that you have hidden. There's a fire for your stomach that you have tried to quench, to match in, to live safe, to be favored. However, I am calling forth that which I positioned in you earlier than time started. I did now not come up with presents for comfort. I gave them for effect. And now effect shall come. You may dream once more. However, this time your desires might be guided via revelation, not fear. You'll upward thrust again. But this time you may rise with understanding, not just pleasure. You may flow once more. However, this time every step might be guided by means of my spirit. You may no longer need to ask time and again for confirmation. You may stroll in confidence due to the fact my spirit will bear witness inside you. There could be manifestations. Yes, physical symptoms that verify my word. Count on interruptions on your habitual, divine appointments, unexplainable peace, surprising want, recovery in locations you forgot have been broken. I'm not sending suggestions. I am sending waves, waves of glory, waves of exchange, waves of my presence. Allow them to wash over you. Let them deliver away what no longer serves your purpose and be equipped for brand spanking new language. The phrases you talk need to suit the arena I'm providing you with. You can't communicate as even though you're nonetheless in bondage when I've declared you free. You can't declare issue over existence I've anointed for expansion. Communicate what I talk. Name yourself what I call you. Say what I say, approximately your future. And you will see it unfold earlier than your eyes. My toddler, you ought to apprehend the war this is raged over you wasn't due to the fact you have been susceptible, but due to what you bring. You have been targeted not because you have been broken, but because you had been selected. The enemy fears you waking as much as the fact of who you are. However, now the awakening starts. You're stepping out of non-secular amnesia and into divine remembrance. remember who you're. Greater importantly, keep in mind who you're. You are no longer a twist of fate. You have been a solution. You had been sent. You have been chosen. You are appointed. And now you're anointed for the sort of time as this. I've positioned a mantle for your existence that cannot be removed by guise. It become not voted upon. It turned into decreed. And what I decree, no man can nullify. I'm able to send you signs inside the sky and whispers on your sleep. I'm able to speak through the ones you expect and those you do now not. I will verify my word through scripture, through visions, via the alignment of instances. Pay interest. Stay alert. This is not the time to be distracted. This is the time to be saturated in my phrase, in my presence, in my spirit. You've got felt unseen, however I've been looking. You have felt unheard, however I have been listening. And now I'm responding now not because you shouted the loudest, however because your hearts stayed humble. I do no longer ignore the cries of the righteous. I do not shy away from the trustworthy. And also you, my child, have remained whilst others walked away. You hung on whilst others gave up. You depended on me while the entirety within the natural screamed otherwise. And now I reward you now not because you earned it, but due to the fact I promised it. There will be acceleration. Matters that could have taken years will appear in days. The waiting will make experience, because you will see that I was making ready what you couldn't yet preserve. You'll apprehend why the doors remain closed till now. I was not punishing you. I was keeping you. I did not will let you settle because I had higher, and better is coming. You will no longer exertions without fruit. The seeds you have sown in kindness, in prayer, in silence, in tears at the moment are generating a harvest. You've got entered reaping season, and you may now not reap just what you sowed. You may gain increased. Due to the fact I'm a God of abundance, my black. I do no longer return empty. I do now not bless halfway. Erkin, be prepared for competition. Yes, not the entirety will welcome this shift, but you need not worry. I go earlier than you. I am your ear protect. No weapon formed in opposition to you shall prosper. Every tongue that rises towards you, I shall condemn, no longer because of who you're, however because of who I'm. I'm able to give you relaxation even as the conflict rages. I can conceal you in simple sight. I'm able to come up with songs inside the night time and strategies within the sunrise. What others omit, you'll discern. What others doubt, you will claim. Due to the fact I'm able to fill your mouth with fact and your spirit with boldness. My child, incline your heart again, for I'm not finished talking to you. There is extra. I should unveil mysteries which have long been hidden, however at the moment are made plain. Listen with the ears of your spirit. For what I'm approximately to show requires extra than natural hearing. I am bringing knowledge in order to shift the way you stroll through this world, the way you see yourself, the way you apprehend your trials, your triumphs, your items, your battle, and your divine venture. You reside in a physical body, however your starting place is spiritual. Where you have been ever formed inside the womb, you existed in my mind. I shaped you in eternity and wrapped you in time. You carry inside you the breath of the eternal. You aren't simply flesh and blood. Your spirit trapped in dirt. And inside you is a divine essence, a spark of my personal existence. That is why you experience anxiety among what is and what ought to be, why your soul groans while the arena feels out of order, why your heart cries out for greater than what may be visible with the attention. You have been never supposed to be restrained by way of the bodily realm on my own. You have been made to stay in each worlds, the seen and the unseen, the tangible and the everlasting. The religious international isn't remote or disconnected. It is not a few lofty location reserved for mystics or prophets. It's miles interwoven into the very cloth of your existence. It surrounds you, affects you, calls to you. The decisions you're making, the thoughts you entertain, the phrases you speak, all of these echo into the spiritual realm and go back to form the bodily. Not anything is remoted. Nothing is without result. The whole lot is hooked up. Every time you pray, you aren't simply speaking into the air, you are aligning with forces that shift atmospheres. When you consider, genuinely accept as true with, you are activating spiritual laws that override bodily limitations. Religion isn't susceptible desire, it's far a key that unlocks doors no hand can touch. It smiles a bridge among nation-states. Whilst you love, you are touching eternity. While you forgive, you wreck chains not most effective to your personal soul, however, within the religious lineage that flows via your bloodline. You do no longer simply stay for these days, you circulate in echoes that have an effect on generations. While you worship, you are not simply singing. You're constructing altars that invite my presence to dwell. When you speedy, you aren't merely abstaining from meals. You are silencing the physical to hear the religious. When you observe my phrase, you aren't gathering understanding. You're consuming bread that nourishes both body and spirit. Every religious discipline has bodily outcome, and each bodily act of obedience has spiritual ripple. Do not separate what I have joined. I have made you entire. Each soul and spirit, while one part suffers, the others experience it. Whilst one component rejoices, the others are lifted. You cannot thrive spiritually at the same time as ignoring your bodily stewardship. Nor are you able to flourish physically in case you ignore your religious roots. Fitness is not the absence of illness, it smiles alignment. However, among heaven and earth, spirit and flesh, idea and action, religion and obedience, I want you to hear how in detail concerned I'm in each nation-states. I care about your non-secular growth and your earthly nicely being. I care approximately your peace of thoughts and your provision. I care about your destiny and your everyday selections. There may be no part of you I do now not take care of. I'm with you in the fireplace and in the kitchen. I speak through desires and via the voice of an infant. I exploit angels and strangers alike. I circulate through wind and whisper. I'm in all, and I paintings through all things to accomplish my will. My toddler, I long which will stop compartmentalizing your existence. You believe you studied some things are sacred and a few are secular. You separate Sunday from Monday. But I see no divide. I need it all, your worship and your paintings, your ministry and your marriage, your silence and your speech. Each a part of your life is a canvas on which I want to show my glory. Each second is a meeting region. Each breath is an possibility for communion. I have designed the physical international to mirror the spiritual one. Simply as seeds fall into soil and die earlier than they upward thrust, a few streams often bypass through seasons of silence before they bloom. Simply as the moon reflects the mild of the sun, you're called to mirror me. Just as rivers float and cleanse, my spirit flows and purifies. The whole thing in nature is random. The whole thing whispers of me. In case you learn to see with your spirit, the world will become a sacred text. Your body isn't always just flesh, it is a temple. Your heart isn't just emotion, it's far a throne in which I preference to reside. Your mind are not neutral, they're gateways. Defend them. For what enters your thoughts enters your lifestyles. Let my phrase be the filter. Allow my spirit be the shield. What you entertain will take root. What you feed will develop. This is religious law. It does not change. And I'm now not mocked. Whatever you sow, you will gain. So do the spirit and you will acquire lifestyles, however do not fear the spiritual global. I have given you authority in it. Do now not fear the physical, both its miles your subject of have an impact on. You are an envoy of heaven on this planet. You're a bridge among nation-states. What you deliver inner is meant to transform what is outdoor. This is why you cannot continue to be silent. That is why the enemy tries to put on you down. He fears what takes place whilst you begin to accept as true when you begin to act, when you begin to apprehend your twin nature and your divine task. I did now not ship you here to combo in. I sent you to bring mild, to confront darkness, to heal the broken, to declare freedom to captives, to lay arms on the ill, to forge out demons, to speak reality, to build, to restore, to raise, to plant. You are not helpless. You aren't powerless. My spirit is in you. My angels surround you. My word is going before you. All of heaven backs you while you circulate in keeping with my will. The material things in your lifestyles aren't meaningless. Use them with purpose. Your resources are gear. Your time is sacred. Your own home is an altar. Your relationships are assignments. Your possessions aren't your identity, but they're a trust. Use them to bless, now not impress. Use them to construct, not to boast. You're a steward, now not an owner. However, while you honor me with what you've got, I multiply it in each nation-states. There's no twist of fate. Each stumble upon, every delay, every opened door, each closed one, they are all threads in a divine tapestry. You handiest see the bottom, however I see the design. Accept as true with me. Trust that I'm working even while you cannot trace me. Consider that your obedience topics, even when the results seem invisible. In the spiritual realm, obedience continually bears fruit. And that fruit will in time be visible. You can feel strain. This is due to the fact the veil among the two geographical regions is thinner than you realize. What you experience is not just emotion, it is religious motion. After I begin to shift matters inside the spirit, your body occasionally responds. That tightness for your chest, that stirring, that surprising peace, or that surprising unease, learn to parent it. It isn't always constantly natural. Often it's far me talking via your senses to pay interest. My child, I need to mature you. I want to elevate your awareness. I need you to walk in understanding, now not just enthusiasm. I want you to move in discernment, not just emotion. I need you to pay attention me virtually and reply hastily. You will now not be tossed about by condition. You will be anchored via reality. Due to the fact the more you understand how I work, the greater you may stroll in peace, even if storms rise up. This is the hour while I'm drawing my people into deeper communion. Shallow dwelling will not fulfill. Amusement will not be sufficient. The distractions of this global will lose their grip. For I'm awakening your spirit. I'm stirring hunger in you. And starvation inside the spirit is continually a sign of drawing close success. I would no longer stir it if I might no longer fill it. You will begin to see miracles not as exceptions, however, as proof of alignment. You will stroll into rooms and shift atmospheres honestly due to what you deliver. You will dream and notice visions. You will figure reasons. You will communicate and chains will fall not due to the fact you're sturdy in yourself, however due to the fact you are surrendered to me. And that I usually use individuals who yield. There could be resistance, but there will also be glory. There may be false impression, but there may also be revelation. There could be moments while you feel torn among the worlds, however do not melancholy. Interest is holy. It smiles a sign that you are taking walks the direction I laid before you. Discover ways to live in each realms. Learn to convey my presence into boardrooms and battlefields alike. Learn to carry my word into family dinners and lonely vehicle rides. I'm not simply with you within the sanctuary, I'm with you inside the secret vicinity. You aren't alone. You are surrounded. Angels stroll with you. My spirit dwells inside you. The cloud of witnesses watches you. Heaven is invested to your adventure, so do no longer pull away. Do not doubt. do now not supply into weariness. You are on foot within the convergence of worlds. And I have selected you for this very intersection. This is why I speak to you presently, due to the fact you're prepared to recognize what others forget. You are prepared to forestall chasing fleeting things and anchor yourself in everlasting fact. You're prepared to move with intentionality, to stroll with clarity, to speak with boldness. You are equipped to stay as one who knows that this international is not all there may be, but that it subjects greatly. So live wholly. Stay conscious. Stay surrendered. Live ambitious. Each act of love is a seed in each geographical regions. Every word of truth echoes in each realms. Each sacrifice you are making is seen by way of me. In every step you're taking in religion actions mountains inside the spirit. This is some time. This is your region. I have planted you here now on this era, due to the fact what you convey is needed, who do not disguise it, do no longer dilute it, do not apologize for the hearth in your bones. I positioned it there. Allow it burn. Let it light the way for others. Let it draw heaven and earth collectively. You're my vessel, my toddler, my consultant, my pleasure, my witness, my beloved, and I have chosen to move through you in each geographical regions now and forevermore. Amen.